Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam, and welcome to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is actually just a whimsical little thing that came in for me. Your dragon spirit guides started saying that they wanted to have some messages for you, so I decided to make some time for that. Dig out my dragon cards. So I've got a lot of cards out on my table right now because I still have my other seasonal cards that I'm using. So remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or just simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. This deck in particular that I'm holding in my hand is the tarot deck we will be using. This is the back of that deck. So just be sure that you go to this site to get one or look them up specifically. I should have a website for them. Dang it. I will find it. I will put it in the description box eventually. If you are waiting for me to do that and I don't do it, just comment. Be like, can we please have that? Ask nicely. But anywho, this is a smaller company. I think they have an Etsy shop, but I buy them straight from their website in the UK. I have this one, and then I think it's called Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot was a really popular one. I believe they use everything out of like recycled materials, and then they use recycled or like plant ink for the drawings. So anywho, just be careful. There's probably like people out there trying to rip them off. I've noticed that a lot with the popular, like smaller company decks. People kind of go after them because they don't have like a team of lawyers to protect them. Probably not cool. So let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards out. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay. We're also going to use these oracle cards in everyone's readings. We'll live shuffle those when we get there. I might get more of these guys. I'm not sure yet. It depends on what the dragons tell me to do. So, let's get you some stones. We have this one for group 1, the black and red heart. Group 2, the howlite heart. Group 3, the Dalmatian jasper. And group 4, the snowy quartz heart. Okay. I wish I knew what that was. I don't know. I want to say it's bloodstone, but there's no green in it, and that makes me wonder. These did not come with any descriptions. I either just know them by sight or I don't know what they are. All right, I need to get some more of them. I gave a bunch away as gifts, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept them all for myself. All right, we'll see you in your individual readings, my friends. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked... Sorry. I'm making a mess out of everything. Oh, my lord. This other card that was underneath in this little stack, the lovers was on it. So I don't know if you guys are here for love. If you are, you're gross. But, that might be your first message. Or your first confirmation that you're in the right group. So you picked the red and black heart. It's over here by this kitty cat. Now we're going to look at your card. We have apple dragon with health. Okay, so the dragons have a message about your health. I feel like for some of you, they are saying that it's time to maybe go get a checkup. I'm feeling for others. Always go get a checkup with your health, you guys. Like, basically, if I was watching a video and I had any symptoms going on whatsoever, and, they're like, oh, your health stuff is coming up, I would kind of start not worrying about my health, but I'd start monitoring it more a little bit, maybe. So that might be a message coming through. If you have symptoms, definitely go to a doctor and get that worked out, would be a message coming through for that. Some of you might be worried about your health. Some of you might have gone through some health stuff and you're better now, but you are trying to find ways to rebuild. Some of you might have like a chronic health issue that's a new thing, or it's an old thing, but you've lived with it for a long time, or you're going to live with it for a long time. It's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Kind of energy is definitely coming through. And with that one, I do empathize. I mean, I empathize with all health issues, but yeah, the chronic health issues that are mysterious, especially, are really ones that I'm like, yeah, those suck. Those definitely suck. Let me see here. Yes, I feel like there's some more messages in here. I want to get 2 more of these cards from you, my dragon guides. And if I get any, some of these dragons might actually look similar to your dragon guides. They won't look exact, obviously, because they're as unique as like eyes, or like, you know, the color of eyes and like the iris patterns. But pay attention to things like if they're a water dragon or fire dragon, air or earth dragon. I believe there's metal dragons as well as wooden dragons. And that's a new thing that I just decided I believed the other day, because they were spiritual. They weren't part of this plane or this earth, but they were still, at least looked mechanical. But they were like conscious, they were aware. And I was like, this is nutso. And I'm excited about it. So I haven't, you know, if you believe in like Chinese energy practices, they have more than just the 4 elements. They also have the element of wood and metal. So anyway. And then spirit is the 7th element. So they have 7. Good times. Okay, moving along. Let's look at your other dragons here about your health. We have garlic dragon with boundaries. Some of you, I feel like with your health issue, garlic might be something that's very beneficial to you. It might be like a gut issue. And I know a lot of times people think of garlic, they think, oh, it's going to like mess my stomach up. But a lot of times, if you've gotten to the point where you've eliminated like all the irritants out of your diet, and like, I'm sorry, y'all, like if you're a human being on the planet Earth right now, you've got stuff with your diet. There's certain things, and I feel like it could very simply be the fact that we have such a varied variety. Cool, redundant much with my words. We have such an abundant variety of food that it's and then we're encouraged to try all the food and eat all of our food, right? Like, don't waste any of the food. And so be good at cooking different kinds of food, right? Be swanky at going to certain types of restaurants, etc., and so forth. So anyway, that all being said, there's got to be something in everyone's diet that is irritating them, unless like you've already gone through figuring out that something's irritating you and eliminated it by now. My point is once you eliminate the things that do irritate you, garlic can actually be a very beneficial thing to your health, and ginger as well, even though they seem kind of it's not like they're acidic, it's like they're spicy, but they're not hot. And sometimes that can affect people's stomachs. I get it. Okay. Anyway, my bad. And if garlic had those little flowers on it, I had no idea. But anyway, here's a close-up again of the garlic dragon. With boundaries, I feel like with the health stuff, your guides are saying, yeah, this feels like a serious, like, chronic issue with the health message, for sure, of setting firm boundaries with your care practitioners, whether it's a front desk staff person, a nurse, a lab person, a PA, or an actual doctor specialist. There is absolutely no reason to be treated with disrespect, and there's absolutely no reason for them to ever act like they aren't working for you. with your absolute best care in mind. And that goes and extends to how you feel in your mind about how things are going, how you feel emotionally about how things are going. I believe that firmly because they all preach about how holistic health and how mental, now when you go in for a checkup, you may have noticed that they ask you about your mental state of mind. And then if you go in for like counseling, they'll take your vitals before you go into counseling now. So I think that's great and I agree with it. So I say push them to agree with it and back up that. And some caregivers are very good. Others are not very good. There's a lot of people out there in the healthcare profession. And I'm just saying this from a vast experience of being in and out of clinics and hospitals and emergency rooms my whole life and specialist offices. There are some awful ones out there. So set your boundaries. I heard a video the other day where a nurse was talking about things to do to better, just to take care of yourself better when you go to the doctor. And she said, I know that a lot of even my colleagues would think that this is way out of line for saying this. She's like, because obviously a lot of us know what we're doing. She's like, but it's best to go into every situation thinking that they don't know what they're doing, or thinking that there at least might be a chance they might not know what they're doing, and go forward from there. You are the one that's in the control seat. I had a really hard time with that because when you're a sick kid growing up, right, you don't have a say over what they do to you at the doctor. Your parents make you, and depending on when your memories start forming, there's can be a lot of trauma from those experiences of being kind of like forced to do something like painful or something scary or something embarrassing, right? So anyway, that's definitely coming through for some of you. Some of you are getting over a health thing. The boundary thing might be like answering more questions with people. People might feel like they have like a right to your privacy now because when you were going through whatever you went through, maybe a lot of people got involved and helped, and maybe there was like a GoFundMe or like a charity auction, or just people really, sent a lot of cards and flowers and lots of Facebook posting and things like that. It's okay to ask for privacy during certain times. There are ways to phrase it, etc. and so forth. So like if you're done with the questions, you can start kind of be like, let's move on. Let's just move on to something else. I'm ready to move on, Part of my healing journey is maybe not talking about it as much as I was a month ago. And then that way you're saying I'm talking about it and not you keep bringing it up, Charlotte. Come on, that kind of thing. Other things. People who are worried about their health. I have boundaries about being able to tell people about their health on like the platforms where I work because they don't want to get sued, right? And like YouTube, I think has like, they must have some kind of an agreement when you sign up for it in their privacy policy or something that none of us read that says, yeah, if you take like any video to hurt and you go out and do something crazy because the video told you to, like, we're not responsible. And as long as they're not violating our standards, they're not responsible. I'm not sure how it works. I probably should since I have a channel on here. That I channel spirits into. It's probably important to be as legit as possible. Whoops. Wrong medium for that. Anyway, if you're worried about your health, like, I feel like I can have a little more leeway on this channel to like kind of give you advice, but I mean, like, definitely go to the doctor for the love of God. And then your guides might be showing you that same boundary message that the ones who are having to go to the doctor, not because they need to find something out, because they know something is there and they need to get like continuous care. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay if you're scared to go to the doctor. It's okay to have boundaries when you go in that you set up front with them. But here's the other thing. Make sure that, and look at this little guy. He's like, He's all boundaried up, ready to go, right? Like, I'm not letting you past a certain point with me. Doing it with a calm, cheerful disposition, it will go a long way. And even then, you might still get some static from certain professionals just because there's just a certain group of people, and not all of them are in this profession. Like, there's lots of wonderful healers that I've met that were just the kindest, most wonderful people. And like, I'm so lucky that my local clinic is like that. But like from front desk to billing, all the way, every single person is just like very well dedicated to what they're doing and cheerful and kind. And if there's a situation, everybody speaks to each other with respect, and it's very nice. I mean, I can't say everyone. I'm sure they have people come in that yell at them and stuff, because people get kind of yelly when we're sick. But anyway, they're also very forgiving of that. So look for places like that. Look for places that respect the fact that, hey, like, I'm good, but like, if you do the thing where, I'm nervous, and so you think that if you just distract me and then do it, then I'll be like, oh, and that actually works for some people. There's an immense relief that, like, they're like, oh, that bad part, the apprehension, awful part was over, and now we can just get through it. Other people are like, how effing dare you just violate me by doing that to me without my knowledge or consent that it was happening right now, right? So some people, like, I mean, everybody hates getting their blood drawn. Some people hate it worse than others. Just to use that as an example, I have never heard a single person out there be like, oh, I love getting my blood drawn. It's not like with tattoos where, like, and that makes me wonder, okay, tangent time. I am sorry, but this came in and I'm curious and I need some comment information. So you know how people that get tattoos, myself included, right? I don't do this part though. I don't say they didn't hurt, because they freaking hurt. Okay. I also read that there's different tolerances of pain, and yeah, some of them hurt worse than others and some of them hardly hurt at all, etc. and so forth. I should say areas, because I've got a lot of areas of my body that are covered. And no one ever goes to the doctor and comes out and says, I kind of like getting my blood drawn. I kind of like getting, like, scratch testing. I kind of like getting, I don't know. I love getting stitches. I love going in and having them, like, I know people like watching those popping videos. Like, are there people out there that like to go to a doctor and have them do that? Like, did you like have that experience and find it enjoyable? Don't tell us about the experience, for the love of God. Don't tell us about any of the experiences as what they were. But you can, like, tell us, like, I like getting stitches or something like that. And confess to me. Because then I gotta start wondering, are all the tattoo people that say it feels good full of it? Just because, like, it's a different environment than healthcare? I'm just curious. I'm very curious now. Because I don't have a good frame of reference, because I don't think tattoos feel good. I think they're horrific in every way, from start to finish, from the moment you decide you're going to get one and you start trying to schedule something with someone, and the apprehension beforehand, the deposit, all the BS, getting there, what the shop is like, if there's people around, and then if the place starts to hurt where they're doing it, if the guy is weird, if any of that stuff happens. None of that stuff is enjoyable to me. Now, the guy might be great and you might have great conversations. I've had that happen. That's fine. You have, like, this bonding experience, but it still freaking hurts. Like, I still have to, like, in my mind, like, fight the urge back to, like, not give up or cry or whatever. So let me know if you have tattoos. Let me know if you like the way they felt in the comment section. And then I really want to know if people like certain painful things at doctor's offices and you just don't say anything about it because it's not as socially normal. Just saying. I've never heard anybody say that. But anyway... Yeah, if you're apprehensive, you can go with boundaries. I have, like, a place that I go to where they know, like, it's one of those places where, like, as soon as you walk into the waiting room, the nurse is like, hey, put this gown on and she'll be in a minute, and you're like, nah. And I've only had a problem with them once where I went in and she's like, put this gown on, and she leaves, or she goes to leave, and I was like, nope, I'm not putting the gown on yet. And she was like, no, you have to. I was like, no, I don't. Because I don't, like they can't make me do anything. And, she kind of gave me like a look, but whatevs. Like, she was like, you're giving me attitude. She looked like she wanted to like punish me for being a naughty kid at school, for disobeying her, I guess is kind of what it was looking like. Like, she had a protocol to follow, and I get that. But at the same time, like, in my intake forms that she had looked at but missed the part that says severe PTSD, blah, 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 blah. I need to talk to the physician first before we do anything. Like, you can take my vitals and that's about it. I need to speak to the doctor first before I get into any position to be touched in any way, shape, or form. And so, yeah, she didn't like it. But since then, they don't tell me to put a gown on as soon as I go in that place, So it's like, they'll be respectful. There's certain protocol that they have to follow. Looking up your rights on what they can and cannot do is also a good step if you are scared of going to the doctor, because they definitely will have to respect most of your requests. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're reasonable. You can't be like crazy, like, you all have to wear clown wigs when I come in. It's not like that kind of request. But if it's like, I'm not putting a robe on and just getting into a position before the doctor comes in to see me and talks to me, like, looks me in my eye and like we exchange names. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if a doctor comes in and they introduce themselves to you and you're fully clothed and you shake their hand and you're sitting up and they're sitting up and you talk, and then they leave for a minute after explaining what they want to do to you, and then you put the robe on. I don't care what the procedure is, It's just better to not be sitting there on a table with a robe on that doesn't even close all the way, and they come in and say, hey, like, hey, guy I've never met before, let's be uncomfortable together. Like, no, like, it's a part of the protocol that I don't agree with, and I'm the one that's paying for this. I am the patient, and this place would not be here if I did not come here. So let's just be on my side here. Okay, so those are the three groups, I think, that are coming through the autoimmune crowd. I'm not saying you all have autoimmune, but like, you've got something serious that's prolonged, right? The serious prolonged, something's wrong with you people, the people that just got over a serious illness, and the people who feel like maybe you need to go to the doctor and you're scared to go. Some of you might have like health anxiety, and I get that's hard to know when to go to the doctor. I have a little bit mix of all of it because my symptoms are so irregular. And then when you grow up with something weird like that, there's times where people are like, you're fine. And then it ended up being more serious. And then you start wondering, like, what was I feeling like that I didn't catch to make everyone know that I was serious? Would they have done anything if I had, obviously they wouldn't have done anything, but how do I know when I'm older to be able to do that for myself, maybe, or whatever? Like, it's a survival mechanism that kicks in. And so that can really mess around with your ability to tell if your symptoms are serious right now, or if you're just having a flare, or you're just nervous, or you have indigestion, or whatever. And sometimes that can really freak people out if you have like a serious illness already. And then it can also just freak people out that know that serious illnesses exist and you're scared of getting one, and I totally get that. This is the most about health I've ever talked about in a reading before. It's quite refreshing. Remember, I'm not a doctor. Do not do anything that I say other than go to the doctor. That's the only thing I'm directing you to do as far as health stuff goes. But let's go ahead and keep getting dragon messages from you. So dragons are a healing creature for you right now, or they always are. That's some important info for you to know. Spiritually speaking. Tomato dragon with shine. Okay. We were talking earlier a little bit about, and don't worry, this is not a message for everybody. This is just something for somebody specific. We were talking about how food irritants, like, unless you've eliminated them already in our society, especially American society, we have such a variety. If you live in a country where there's lots of abundant food around, and you live in a place where it's like America, there's not a lot of regulations on how we process and treat and make food, mass produce food, etc. It's probably like almost nearly impossible to not develop or have already some kind of food sensitivity. And you have to like eliminate those, and then certain things will like help you better, etc., like garlic, etc. So, or coffee per se. For some, just a little personal fact. Once I cut tomatoes out of my diet, garlic did not bother me anymore. And I was like, oh, same thing with onions. And I'm not saying that don't miss those. I do so much. But that's just something to know. Anyway, because it was a tomato, and then I said that earlier, that connection just popped into my mind. But anywho, shine. Let's look at that for your individual messages here. So we have the people who are sick with something that you're having, that you have, that you're continuously having to deal with in whatever form that's coming in. Whether it's something they understand or not, or you understand it, or you made peace with it, or you haven't. Don't let it steal your shine. Don't let it steal the essence of who you are. Don't let it overtake your entire personality. And don't let it steal your moments of joy throughout your day, even if your day has become restricted because of this health issue. Find new forms of joy, and it's not always going to be easy. And you're not always going to find it, depending on the severity of the situation. But it's important to look. Okay, so that's a message coming through. Keep shining out, keep carrying your fire, keep carrying goals and hope in your belly, and getting things to look forward to that are healthy and constructive, not destructive things like spending money and drinking alcohol and spending money on the alcohol to drink it, that kind of thing. You can drink some alcohol, just, probably not in excess. If you have like something serious, it's probably might be something we might have to avoid. Okay, anyway, going on. For people that are, what was the other one, guys? Dang it, I wish you were here so you could tell me. You're worried about being sick. I know I'm not going in the right order. If you're worried about being sick, your guides are saying that, like, for some of you, there's absolutely nothing that you need to worry about. Some of you are absolutely just fine. You just need to go to a doctor to confirm that, to make sure. And to learn, like, what is it that you felt that made you worry in the first place? Is it something that's another smaller issue that needs to be addressed? Is it something else that's like a totally functional thing that your body's just doing that means something else that's not bad, but it's just good information to know about your health? Is there like, are you up on your vitamins, etc.? For the, what was the, oh my gosh, if I have to pause and go back, I'm gonna be so mad. The people who just got well, that's what it was. For the people who just got well, enjoy. I mean, just really enjoy that you're feeling better. Celebrate. Have like not just celebrations with your friends and family, but like your little celebrations with yourself. Like, instead of just like, oh, I'm glad that doesn't hurt anymore. Now I can go on with my day doing, like, really sit and celebrate, like, oh my gosh, the air is actually like getting into my lungs, or oh my gosh, my limb is holding me up better, or oh my gosh, my pain in that area of my body And just seeing joy into those areas of your body that are healing. Seeing joy and gratitude into them. And just be really, really happy about it. Yeah, this is turning into a long reading and I thought it was going to be short. Dragons are shifty. And I wouldn't put it past them for some of these other readings to be really short. That's why I try to do them in different orders. But then I forget what number you guys are. My husband and I were talking about getting like neon signs, like one for him downstairs that says on air so he doesn't like yell something inappropriate. Sorry, hiccup. Yell something inappropriate. Sorry. Another hiccup. And now I have an air bubble. It seems to happen a lot when we're doing readings. I think it's because I'm talking and then well, no, because I talked all through my teaching career and I wasn't hiccuping all the time. Interesting. I need to look that up. Because they're just like a couple of hiccups too. They're not like a, knock on wood, a big range of hiccups. Interesting. But anyway, like neon signs that say I'm on air so he doesn't say anything, but also like just a little neon sign somewhere around me that tells me what number I'm on. I know some readers will have like a little piece of paper or something they put over, but I've tried that and it didn't work because I forgot it was there. I need something that's like neon and flashing, and like apparently putting it right there in front of my face is not good enough. Okay, let's go ahead and see your next couple of messages from your dragon guides. We have a death dragon. He looks happy about it. Remember, in oracle reading and tarot, death is not usually about actual physical death. So keep that in mind. Next, we have decision. Look at how similar your dragon. That's the same kind of dragon, or is the exact same dragon? I'm pretty sure they don't all look like that in this deck. Let's take a peek. Nope, they definitely do not. How interesting. What are the odds? This is an old deck too. I've had this for a long time. So it's not like they're all right next to each other. There also aren't like that many that look that much alike. There's also, yeah, there's also ones like that aren't dragons that so that you can use the readings in other ways. Bizarro. Okay, decision and death. I want to check the books on these two. God, this is going to be such a long reading. This is going to be like a 3-hour friggin' thing. Which is great if you like long readings, but if you hate them... I feel like the ones where like a spirit comes to us, it's just kind of up to us to hear what they have to tell us. Like, you know, if you're channeling more of like, I'm looking for a specific answer, then that's a little different. Then I'll accept getting yelled at for going off too long. Actually, just kidding, I won't. I won't accept any criticisms that are rude. I'll accept criticism, but not rude ones. Okay, let's see here. Decision 24. A decision must be made and you cannot put it off. A postponed decision will turn into a ball and chain around your ankle. Okay, so we know what happens with needing to make a decision, and I don't see anything about what kind of dragons these are. But let's look at death real quick. It should be just a little bit ahead of this one. There it is. Old tree dragon. Okay, it's an old tree dragon. Interesting. So you might want to look up, if you're into this sort of thing, look up old tree dragons and see what kind of lore you pick up about them. Because you've got two of them here. This one, what is behind it there? I can't tell. Maybe it's just like pieces of rock. I can't tell. For a second, I thought it was a ship, and so I was going to connect it to that. But if it's a tree dragon, then it would be like connected to earth and air to get, well, and water. I'm not sure what element you would connect trees to because they're all connected to everything. They also burn up in fires and need the sun. So I don't know. So it's like, it's okay. Here's the message that's coming in from this type of dragon. Like, this is the type of dragon that is here talking to us right now. It might not look exactly like this dragon, but it's a tree dragon. And maybe some depictions of tree dragons look like that. Something important about that. There's something important about their connection to you. Some of you might work in forestry. Some of you just might have a really like strong affinity for trees. You might be like an advocate that like tries to save trees or plant trees. You might be somebody who just really loves to draw trees or look at trees. Like, you've got some kind of a thing with trees in general. And then their message to you, I mean, like, there seems to be some kind of like a karmic, or not karmic, but like an ancestral like line connected to you with these dragons. So that's kind of something also that you might want to research, or call me. We could do a deeper dive into that, or let me know in the comments if you ever want me to do a extended reading type Patreon type thing and do extended readings on these. I feel like I would need to grow a little bit more for that to happen, but maybe not. I need to look into how to do that. I do offer different packages on readings, anywhere from $10 to like more than that, but it just depends on the package that you want. So emailing me and asking me for my package details are good. Maybe I should just put the package details in the description box, my friends. That's what I should definitely do. I think I'm going to start doing that. Anyway, thank you for going on that journey with me. Because yeah, this is like some kind of a very big deal that these dragons are here speaking to you. You've got a big decision to make. I know that you're freaking out. Some of you are freaking the frig out because you're worried about your health, and then this death card pops up. Please do not freak out, because I do not channel messages about death other than like past life stuff. Sometimes death stuff will come up with that. But even that I kind of steer clear of a little bit because I don't want it to get too graphic and gross and trigger anybody into like some kind of a past life flashback and it freaks them out. So I don't channel any messages about like if you're going to die, if somebody you know is going to die, is there anything you can do to prevent it? I never do that. And if spirits come in to give us these messages, like they've already been told, like, I don't want that, Now I realize health can lead to life or death consequences. And they could very well be here with a message about that. Like, get your butt to the doctor because like it, isn't maybe serious right now, but it could be, that could be a message for some of you, not to freak some of you out. But like, I don't want you guys to feel like there's no reason, like there's no hope for you because of your health, because this card came out. That's not, no. Death is about change, transformation. Dragons are also about transformation and becoming something. I feel like they're more about you during this health journey, figuring out that you have like very, very strong dragon guides that are here to help you heal. And if you get to know them and work with them, that's the important thing. So I feel like a lot of times when people like go and look up like readings, like tarot readings and stuff like that, whether you're watching pick a cards or you're calling people and actually like paying them for readings, that people get hung up on this like, okay, what do I absolutely need to know? And am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? I'm going to ask about the most, black and white answered, are they going to be with me forever? Are they going to, those kinds of answers. And it's human, like part of the human condition to ask that way. But we kind of miss out on the more really layered spiritual aspect that we can go into, which is like, what do you want to believe in with your belief system? Do you want to believe that dragons are even a thing? Because there are people that absolutely 100% believe that they are a thing. There's people that actually even believe that they did walk the earth, right? There's some people believe that all kinds of things about them. Okay. So like, and then there's other people that believe that they're just an astral plane, like an angel, they're not physical beings, but they do exist just like angels do, right? And they are here to help us. That's a big message that's coming through to help you with your decisions on your health. So look up tree dragons, see doctors, figure what's going, keep shining, keep doing your thing, right? That's definitely a huge message coming through, is like these guys are going to help you with healing, learning things about your healing abilities. It is crazy that you got the same exact dragon type. They're not the exact same dragon. See how its little comb is different? But I mean, like, you can tell those came from if this was a lab, a dog was a black lab, like that's what these would definitely be, a breed of dragons. So that was really cool. Let's get, I don't know, 2 more before we move on to your tarot. Oh, thank you. Where are your dragons going? Culmination, completion, and renewal. Yeah. This health thing, I feel like, is a temporary thing, in the sense of like, how you feel right now is not going to be how you feel, 6 months from now. Even if this situation, like, even if we can't magically just heal you, or you can just magically find the answer, or you just magically go to the doctor and there's nothing wrong, or, you stay good forever and it doesn't come back ever, those kinds of things. I want you to understand that this is a turning point, and that's why these dragons are here to tell you this story. It's a turning point for you. Yes, you're better. You can move on and do wonderful things. Or yes, you just need to go to the doctor because you'll learn more. Okay. And you won't be carrying around this fear with you anymore, because you'll either know, or you will know that you don't have anything. And that will be very liberating to you either way. Anything's better at this point than living with fear. And then they're also saying like that you have, they have your back. They're here with you. And that you're going to be on a different path from here on out, because you know this information, because you've figured these things out, because, the more information you learn about something chronic that you have, the more you can help yourself with it and get closer to cures, right? What else do they have to say? Inspiration. One of the things that's coming through, and this is so funny, but I love doing it too, is looking up and finding other people, like celebrities, social media groups, whatever, but people that help you feel better about what's going on with your health, people that make you feel less worried, people that make you feel inspired because of their journey, people that give you hope, that kind of energy is coming through, of like, find things that inspire you. If you are very sick right now, find things that inspire you, regardless of how sick you feel. Try to find something, even if it's just a little thing, even if it's just the pattern on the quilt on your bed, or the little pattern on your pillowcase that you love so much, or the way your pillowcase feels, or whatever. If you're stuck in your bed, wash your sheets, or have somebody wash your sheets and put fresh ones on there for you, and put things around you that look nice, and give those little bits of joy to yourself. Just try to find them, okay? Try to find little things that inspire you. Look up art, look up music, have people read to you or read to yourself, listen to audibles, things like that. Okay. Finding new inspiration, and the more that you find it, the more will follow. Yes, good. Okay, let's get you some tarot. Eight of Wands. That's a very positive change coming your way. Things changing very quickly, but in a good way. Okay. So keep that in mind, especially the people who are worried. Five of Wands. Yes. Stay away from anybody who seems too theatrical. It's such a hard thing to explain, but it's like, and I don't want to say like something that offends somebody, but it's like, you got like people like, they're like a dental hygienist. And I love dental hygienists because they're the ones that like clean your teeth and try to make you feel better about everything that just happened to you, right? And they're usually very nice, And they give you gas if you pay for it, and it's really good. But anyway, those guys, I like them very much, but I've met a few, just as an example, who kind of like judge people for their health choices because they're like a health professional. So like they'll actually like get mad at you for like disagreeing about like certain health products or certain health procedures. They might actually get an attitude with you while you're in their chair because you say, no, I'd actually rather not do x-rays today. You know, those kinds of things. Like there's like that kind of like attitude that can be found in the healthcare industry. And your tree dragons here are telling you it's very important to avoid those personality types. If you see somebody acting like that or rubbing you the wrong way in a doctor's office, depending on what their level of responsibility over your health is, you might want to go to a different office. I'm just saying, it's your health, it's your body. You're the one paying the money, the ridiculous, ridiculous amount of money, right? Okay, moving on. Yeah, there's more warnings. So please, please be choosy. Be careful about the people who are giving you health advice, who are giving you health care. Ask lots of questions. If they act mad at you for asking questions, red flag. And if they're mad at me for telling you that, another red flag. You know, there's a lot of people out there that do health stuff. Not all of them are going to be good. So that's a big thing. Some of you might have some around you that maybe it's better, like maybe not to leave, but to get a second opinion just to see. Okay, so emotional security and contentment, healing coming your way, very positive. Okay. Spirit, can I just get one concentrated message for the people who have healed before we go? It's over. Oh, I love it. It's over. That part is over. So like if part of you is like, but what if it just comes back? You know, stuff like that. It's over. What if something new crops up? Just try to enjoy your life. Just try to enjoy your life. You are healed. You know, that message is definitely coming through. Spirit, for the people with a chronic issue, keep researching. Keep researching, and then also incorporate more spirituality. You can always do that for free. So incorporate as much spirituality and elemental esoteric work as you can, psychological work into your healing and your medical journey as you possibly can, because it just helps everything else. It's just like, you know, like with the conditions that they used to think stress caused them, and then they found out that like, no, it wasn't. They got so stressed that it caused it. This problem was already there, but stress like causes it to get worse, right? And then there are like people that just have like really severe like stress conditions that can cause physical symptoms. But learning and researching and finding out what group or bracket of that do you fit into? What is the one that you know, what do you want to learn about yourself, right? And you can do that spiritually and esoterically as well to help all encompass that. Do it psychologically. Just find all those ways to help make yourself feel better, make your time worthwhile still as you move forward with whatever it is that you have. Okay. And then Spirit, let me have a card, one last card for the people who are worried about going. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be okay. You just need to see the doctor and either rule it out or get it treated. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you 45 minutes in. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. After a reading like this, chances are you're going to be swarmed by dragon guides if you have a lot of them. You might be swarmed with them regardless because they still want to talk to you. Okay, especially this was a lot. So if you feel something around you, go ahead and welcome it in. Let them give you more messages if you're not too tired. Thank them for coming in and being there. Tell them you want to get to know them better. If they are, you know, willing to come and talk to you more, they will, you know, that kind of energy. Always make sure to only invite in beings that are benevolent and have your highest and best good in mind and in their intentions so that you can avoid any, you know, You know what? Horror movie moments. All right. We'll see you at the next one, you guys. I don't remember if I said the other stuff, but in case I didn't, comment, like, subscribe. You can get a hold of me for private reading in the description box. We'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Hi, group 2. So if you picked the Howlite heart, let's put that. Oh, let's move that other heart. We'll put it right over here by this little kitty cat. And we're going to look at your card here. We have the Blueberry Dragon with goals. So goals, you got some goals on your mind. So this is what was coming into my head as I was setting up your table here. Some of you are less interested in like what you do for career than you are making enough of a living to provide yourself like good health, good food, and good toys, like good time off from that job, like so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Some of you I feel like may have picked jobs that weren't as inspiring to you on a creativity level or like, like dream job level because they paid more, because your main passion is that time away from work. So it's like, and that might not be everybody that's here, because I feel like there are some people here who want to know about career, so don't worry. But I'm getting that feeling for some of you that some of you are very financially motivated as opposed to career motivated. There's a difference between the two. And sometimes both can be good, but there seems to be a little bit of a difference between liking a career for what it does for you emotionally and inspirationally and what a career does for you monetarily. Like if they pay more, like people would probably do like more terrible jobs if they paid more for them. That kind of feeling. All right. So anyway, some of you are very, very interested in finances. Others are interested in goals like your career, and then career is tied into both of those. So like with the people with goals that are less interested in career or whatever, like, and this could be some people that are also interested in career. So let's just say everything. You're interested in career and you're interested in how much money you're going to get so you can afford certain things, such as your house, right? I also feel like goals of like meeting the right person, starting a family, those kinds of goals. When it comes to goals like jobs, and then it comes to goals like family and children, there's, differences there as well, right? Like no matter what, you're always going to have some kind of way to get money into your life. And I don't care if you're like a rich person or a trust fund baby, you still have to like find ways to maintain what you have. And you're either maintaining producing that or maintaining the handling of it, even if it's in extreme amounts. If it's like very small amounts, it's always just about having enough, right? And then everything in between, generally, no matter how much we have, we want more. And that goes with money, that goes with love, that goes with possessions, that goes with everything. So I'm feeling a lot of want towards romance. I'm feeling a lot of, and family. I'm feeling a lot of want towards career going well, finances going well. That's like the big goals that I'm feeling in this group. So if those are your goals and you have like a totally different goal that I'm like not saying, then that, like if your goal is to get healthy, watch group 1, like for example. Okay. So, all right. Moving along. All right, dragons, show us what else this person needs to know. Thank you. Cranberry dragon with prosperity. Excellent. If you have goals and the prosperity card comes out, well, that's pretty sweet, isn't it? Here, I'm going to scooch this guy up. Put that little dragon right there. I don't know if you could see it. It's a little tiny dragon that I put out for our anchor. I have a 3D printed dragon that you may see in some of my other videos. but it's still February, so I'm still keeping the little cat motif I've got going on. Plus, cats kind of have like a dragonish spirit to them. I feel like dragons protect cats, and vice versa. I feel like they work with them, and I feel like they play together. So if you've got a cat running crazy through your house, like sometimes I think they've got some kind of a dragon or a fae of some sort that they're having a good time with. Okay, prosperity. So it looks like good news, y'all. Your dragon guides are coming in to say you are going to attain your goals, that like you have prosperity energy coming towards you. Isn't that refreshing? Just like cranberry juice. If you like cranberry juice. If you don't like it, then it's probably not very refreshing. I love it. I love how it tastes. I should probably go get some very soon because I can actually have cranberries. But I read somewhere that all juice is bad for you, and I was like, oh, unless it's like fresh squeezed, and then that's probably okay, or like freshly blended. But just buying juice, even if it's like 100% juice, I've read that it's not good for you because it's like fermented. I could be wrong. Do your research. I don't know. Prosperity. So yeah, good news coming in from your dragons. We have grape jelly dragon for childlike. I like how he's not just a grape dragon, he's a grape jelly dragon. That definitely feels like some of you who want kids are definitely going to have kids, because like kids always eat peanut butter and jelly. You know, I know a lot of adults that eat peanut butter and jelly as well. Myself being one of them. If I can find jelly I can tolerate. But my point being, all kids, if they can have peanuts and jelly, they can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's something that they all have. And I feel like it's a point of joy for you. Like watching your kids eat a PB&J just seems like heaven to you, like arriving at like your goal of what you really want. And so your guides are being very, very wonderful about saying you're going to get what you want. So whenever that happens, I don't want to get too redundant. So I think what I'm going to start trying to do, if I haven't started doing it already, is start figuring out how to maintain that energy, or to also ask how you all can know you're in the right group. So like, what kind of people do we have here? Well, we have people that want love, and we have people that want career and financial stability and prosperity, so that they can either get like houses and cars and things, or just like keep advancing in career or have a family. But let's see if we can channel some more specific messages as to who you guys are, so that you know this good news is for you. Because it seems like whatever the goal is here, the answer from the dragons that have come to see us is that you're going to get it. So let's make sure you're in the right group. And this card on the bottom just automatically jumped out at me. Some of these cards from this deck we will get the book for. We have transformation number 3, defining yourself. Ooh. What a cool looking dragon. I feel like some of you have a very unique personality. Some of you may dress very unique. Some of you might see how inspired this person is looking at this dragon. Like, whoa, dude, look at your cool dragon head. It's different from most dragons I've seen on TV. And you have a horn, like a unicorn. So you're like a hybrid dragon. And yeah, amazing. You're very different colored. It also appears on its wings that it also has feathers. So it's like transforming into something that not only is just different from what it was before, but transforming into something that agrees with the elements around it in its life more. Transforming into something more impressive, something more je ne sais quoi, something more developed and like rich and multifaceted. And man, for some of you that want love, that guy has a very sensual back that I just happened to notice. I was like, rare. Getting some Thor vibes from him. Ooh. You guys are going to like your person that's coming. If your goal is love, you're going to be very attracted to your person. So that's coming in. If you're like, I must know more about them, who are they? Get in touch with me. I'll do a reading with you. I have affordable packages. All right. Yes. Okay. Other things about this transformation energy. Some of you have kind of a hard and soft personality. Like you cherish soft things, but you also know how to deal with your business. Okay. So that's some characteristics that are coming in to let you know that you're in the right group and let you know that your goals are coming to light. This also just popped up for you, so I'm going to put it over there. Get you another one of these. Who are these people so they know they're in the right group? Scars. Some of you may have a traumatic past. Some of you might actually have physical scars on your face or your body that are prominent enough or extensive enough that, you know, it's noticeable to others. It affects your identity a bit, that kind of thing. And then emotional scars, same diff, like things that are significant enough that they've shaped your identity, who you are, is also coming through. So if you have that going on in your life, you are definitely in the right group as well. Grabbing the card that came out, we have Legacy number 8, Persistence. Yeah, I feel like the people who are in the right group are like, I know I'm in the right group. You don't have to tell me anything about it. Like, lots of confidence. I like it. I'm also feeling like you're a persistent person. You might come from there's that idea of, like I said something earlier about, I don't care how much money you make, like, or if you have to work for the money that you get. Like, there's always like handling of the money, right? And negotiating of the money and securing of the monies in different areas. And it can get really complicated and contentious and crazy. I'm feeling that vibe coming in for some of you. Some of you might be dealing with a lot of money and figuring out how to maintain that legacy of that money, like in a family. Some of you could just be from like a long legacy, or legacy could be important to you, and that's just more indication that you're in the right group. Some of you might have Roman or Greek backgrounds. I'm also feeling like ancient European backgrounds. Okay, moving on. Culmination, completion, and renewal. Basically, yeah, everything is coming together for you. So, like, that's just another message. Everything is coming together for you. Messages that are coming forward from this to give me an idea that you're in the right group. Some of you are female. Some of you actually kind of resemble this person, or somebody you know resembles this person. Some of you really like this artwork. And some of you really like artwork that's like old 80s, like not the 80s stuff. That's not a very good description, but like the kind of like the movie Legend is coming to mind, like the artistic 80s stuff. It was kind of edgy. And not as widespread. Like when you think of like, when I say 80s, I'm thinking of like the pops of like really bright neon colors and like the neon signs and like the tacky furniture and the carpets all over the bathrooms and things like that. This is more along the lines of like, you know, Legend, like the movie Legend. If you look up Legend, the movie, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what she's saying. And then you can move on. But in any event, you're giving me this like kind of like dark, edgy vibe for some of you. Some of you have like kind of an artistic vibe. Some of you are just very different from other people. A lot of that could be because you have scars from before. And everything that has happened to you is leading you up to this point. It doesn't matter. And I feel like there's a very big range of maybe some very wealthy people and some very not wealthy people. And your guides are saying for all of you, your dragons who have come in, they're saying that it's all been leading up to this. Even like the people that came before you, it's all been leading up to this moment, these goals that you are going to accomplish, because they're saying you've got them. You're already going to get them. You're going to get them. You're going to get them. I love getting messages that are so clear like that I don't have to be like, well, maybe if you work for it, you will. Like, this is just like, you're going to get it. Now we just need to make sure you're in the right group. So I feel like that's also going to be more of this, like more, I might channel some names if they come up. I might channel dragons. I'm just giving dragons some stuff to help me with our channeling here. We might like to just get more characteristics about these people so that they know they're in the right place, because they know what they want. They know what they want. And then maybe the last 3 cards can be about how to maintain getting what you want. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Some of you might be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you, that legacy that I talked about could be very conflicted. Like, there might be a lot of squabbling. There might be a lot of just contention and differing ideas, and nothing ever getting totally settled. Everybody always being up in arms, that kind of energy. If you have been experiencing that, then you are in the right group. And I feel like you stay out of it, some of you, so that might be another confirmation that you're in the right place. Some of you really like butterflies. Some of you really like fall. Some of you really like pink or purple flowers. Some of you are very quiet and just into nature. That might be why, like, you're less into your job and into like nature, right? And the things that you do outside of your job that you want to provide enough so that it's a good thing, right? Man, 10 of Pentacles, that's still good news about getting everything that you want, my friends. Everything that you want. Some of you, again, have a large family that comes from like a long line of money. Okay, so now we're starting to repeat ourselves. So I think we're kind of in the realm of we need to move on to other questions, or we just need to move into the how do they maintain this section of the reading. So let me just kind of confer here. Are there things you want them to know? Oh, they said that you guys want to hear other things about yourself, details about yourself, about your individual situations to let you know you're in the right group. Okay, I gotcha. Thank you, dragons. Let's go ahead and look at the people who want love and a family, emotional wants and needs, and that's their goal. Show me about these people specifically so that they know they're going to get their goal. 4 of Cups. Some of you are quiet. Some of you have been chasing after or wanting something, you know, like you feel like it was never going to come to you. Some of you are bored with the way life is and you want life to change. Some of you are into frogs. Some of you are into the water. Some of you are water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. There's something about these little acorn cups. Something about acorns. Maybe you like to have acorns in your decor or maybe you have an acorn that's lucky or acorn jewelry or something along those lines. Hi, Luna. Luna has come out to say hello. That's another one of my cats. Luna is a calico, so she's very lucky. Some of you might have a calico cat or like calico cats, or you might just have a cat. 3-colored cats are considered very lucky in some cultures. What else about these people in this group? Yeah, fire signs again. So some of you might be a fire sign in this group. Others of you might like sunflowers. Some of you lived in an area where there was a big, you lived or live in an area where there's like a big like clear cutting of forestry, like so much so that the forest isn't going to grow back there for ever, you know, many lifetimes or whatever, where there's like lots of like dead trees or stumps of like big massive cut down, like there's an area like that by where you live or where you lived. So that's another indication that you're in the right place. What else about the people who want family and to fall in love? Oh, that's like a, thank you, dragons, but that's kind of a bleak thing to bring up to tell somebody they're in the right group. Some of you may have had experience in your past, part of the scars, with like self-harm. And we'll just like leave it at that, whatever varying degrees of that you have experienced. I am seeing that for some of you. I think that some of you, that's why you want a family so much, is because like maybe some of you it was lacking in your own life. What else about them, Spirit? Some of you had a very rich, successful dad. Or a very successful dad, a very powerful dad. Some of you had a hard time living up to that. It's another indication that you're in the right group. Some of you like turtles. Some of you have a pet turtle. Some of you... That's all I'm getting from that one. Interesting. Some of you had some kind of trouble at school when you were younger. Some kind of like bullying situation or like physical, you know, kind of like getting into physical fights at school. Okay, let's move on to my wonderful dragons. Let's move on to the people who want to get money for like houses. Their goals are like houses and outside of work enjoyments. How do they know they're in this group? Some of you are a water sign. Some of you have a beard. Some of you have very thick hair. Especially like on your head, like a very thick mane of hair, like it like stands up on your head in a way, like it's so thick. Some of you are homebodies. You kind of like to stay at home, not so much like, you know, like a shut-in, but like the things you like to do are kind of like more indoor things. Such as like if you were to go to a big ski lodge, you'd rather be in the lodge drinking cocoa and doing whatever they do and having like a, you know, eating at the restaurant than like, or like reading in the room or like going out into the jacuzzi than like going on the ski hill part, you know? Or like you prefer, even if you're outdoors, you prefer to be like on your own. You prefer to like hike by yourself. You prefer to work on your projects by yourself. You probably don't like if people are like, oh, we'll help you. You're like, I don't want you to. That kind of energy is coming through for some of you. Some of you smoke or vape. And you should quit. It's very, very bad. That wasn't me. That was a guide. Six of Swords. Yeah, there's that scarred past for some of you again. This is about getting what you want right in the moment. So, like, don't have fear or doubt about this not happening. We've already got it in the bag. We're now just figuring out and giving more details so that people know they're in the right group. Somebody may have saved you at one point in your life, or you may have saved somebody else, like physically or in a big life way. Some of you have like a butterfly tattoo. Some of you love butterflies. Some of you got a butterfly to remember a sad event or a person that passed in a sad way. Some of you are in a relationship right now that is very intense. And you want the time outside of work to be really open for the two of you to really explore your life together. So gross. Aww. I love it when people like, you know, there's a difference between people who like focus on family just because they think that's what you're supposed to do. And they almost kind of like have a dominating, like, it's family, so we have to do the messed up stuff, you know, like almost backwards kind of look at it, or a negative frame or oppressive view of it. I feel like I love seeing people who like relationships, whether or not they have kids, where they really put each other first because they just actually like each other that much. And because they want to put each other first and they like each other that much, they end up being like, not like maybe super duper billionaire successful, but like they end up doing okay in life because they care about each other enough to try to provide good lives for each other on top of, you know, and providing ways to enjoy that time with each other more. So like being able to afford better food, being able to afford time together, quality time, having that quality time, having the things around you like a big beautiful house so that you can all live together very nicely or whatever, you know, like that's definitely coming through as like a really wonderful thing for you guys, and you're gonna get it because you deserve it. Some of you like dandelion tea, or you like to blow dandelions even now still. Water signs again. Some of you have fear of the future. You have fear that this future won't find you. And a lot of that's because of those scars that you carry. Okay. Moving along to the last one, which was what? Oh God, I'm going to have to run it back. Career. That's right. Career people. How do they know they're in the right group? That their goals are going to be met? That they are specifically thinking of when they reach this reading? You also like butterflies. Some of you like sun tanning. Some of you might be very tan, or you just love being out in the sun. Sun worshiper just came to mind. Some of you might have a very spiritual connection to the sun as well. Some of you are very, very in tune with your dragon guides already. Some of you are also in like a twin flame relationship, that you know you're in a twin flame relationship. It's very important to you. Some of you just broke up, not connected. We're just looking at details of people so that they know that you're in the right group. And then I'm going to channel some names here in a second. Some of you that are in those relationships, like you've been together for a long time. Like this was somebody you fell in love with, you know, in childhood. Now you're still together, or like those kinds of energies, or you dreamt about each other when you were children, or something along those lines. Page of Swords. Some of you have black hair. Some of you like to wear all black. Some of you are very into black. I don't know if you're like dark and mysterious yourself, but you like the color black. You like to, so you look dark and mysterious. Some of you did fencing or some kind of like classes where you were learning how to fight, like taekwondo, but like in an honorable way, like fencing, like having very honorable like rules and being very structured learning. Karate, taekwondo, fencing. There's some other thing like maybe dance. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like dance. I feel like I'm missing something there. Some of you have anxiety issues. Not a diagnosis, just you get anxious a lot, or you might have anxiety. Some of you had pet rabbits when you were a kid. Some of you love Easter or loved Easter when you were a kid. There's those butterflies again. Some of you love daisies. Oh, there's those dandelions. Some of you have red hair. Some of you are blunt, very outspoken, but you're proud of that. Some of you are very patient, crafty. You get what you want. You accomplish your goals. You're good at it. And some of you are very intuitive. Okay. So now let's see if I can handle some names. Sometimes I have to draw cards to do it. Other times I do not. We'll just see what comes through. So let me try Sam, Samantha, Cynthia, Saxton, Saffron. The name Saristo is coming through. I know some people whose last name is Saristo. Rico. Oh, I almost had it. Starts with like an ROS. So I mean, any name that starts with ROS is probably a good indication you're in the right group, and that's why it didn't like morph together for me. Happy. Somebody might be called Happy as a nickname, maybe, or your name is actually just Happy, or maybe you're just a very happy person. Maybe you have a pet named Happy. Maybe your car is named Happy. I don't know. Do you name your cars? Tell me in the comment section. Some of you name your cars. Let's see. Some of you have a boat. Some of you read well. I'm not sure what that means. Interesting. Okay, names, spirit names. P names. If your name starts with a P. Polly. If your name starts with P-E-R. If your name starts with P-E-R, last name or first. But it's not coming together for me. Preacher. Somebody's got something to do with preacher. Postal service workers, okay. Private investigators. Interesting words coming through here. Names, spirit. Names, dragons, names. Dragons are chaotic. They do what they want. They're a lot like cats like that. You can't like that whole like how to train a dragon. Well, you can't. That's the whole point. Okay, so let's see what else. They just have to come to you if they want. That's what reminds me of cats and dragons. You can train cats, but you have to like kind of have like more of a dialogue with them. A bargaining situation. Like dragons are the same way. It's not like with dogs where like they understand and like act out commands, if that makes sense. Charlie, Chester, Chaz. What else? Rebecca, Monty. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So Spirit, let's give the people who want love and family or family a last card for advice. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like that you guys have the most anxiety in this group as far as like just worrying about it not happening. Like maybe you've been waiting for a long time, or just like everything else up to this point, it feels like it's been so bad, and like all you want is to have that like family and love and all that, you know, kind of energy. A very important thing to remember when you want something that bad to the point where it gives you anxiety, you have to be very careful about wanting it so much that you forget to let go and move forward and have joy before it gets here. So that's a message that's definitely coming through. Your guides are saying that you need to find a balance between sitting and waiting for it to happen and enjoying your life until it gets here. Okay? It's coming. That's what they say. So, you know, instead of frenzying yourself into when and how will I recognize it and yada, you are going to, right? It is going to happen. So you don't have to worry about what those things are going to be, right? So until it happens, instead of sitting back and worrying, oh my gosh, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe that reader was wrong. Maybe blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that, you need to find joy until it gets here. And what if it never comes? Well, then we're going to keep having joy until it doesn't come. I don't know how else to like make that switch in people's heads. I don't know how to make it switch in my own head very well, except for practicing that over and over and over again until it just clicks. But finding that balance of living your life until you do get it. Okay. Can I get some last advice? Wait, hang on. I feel like I rushed through this too fast with the love and relationships. I'm also seeing like things being balanced with you and your people, like things being like, because I, you know, the anxiety is coming out. So it's like now you're kind of starting to worry about, well, what's my person going to be like? Are they going to be like how I need them to be? Or are they going to be like, you know, as perfect as possible? Or are they going to be, and instead of framing it that way in your mind, try to reframe it. When you start feeling your mind worry like that, instead of just letting it run, okay, stop yourself. Start training yourself to stop yourself when those thoughts pop up. And instead of worrying about like, well, I wonder if they'll be like this, or I wonder if they're going to be like that, or when am I going to meet them, and where are they, what are they going to look like, and etc. and so forth. And think about what would be the most ideal way for it to happen, and then fantasize about how great that would be if it worked out just like that. Wouldn't it be nice if it was like this? And picture it that way. Put a happy thought. Don't sit there and ruminate on it, but allow yourself to enjoy it, feel excited about it, picture it being the way you want it to be. Thank your guides for it coming towards you, and then ask them to help you find joy in the meantime. Always ask to help them find joy in the meantime. Pull your energy back from the wanting. Picture something that you want, whether it's an actual person or the ideal scenario that you want. And imagine light coming up from that and coming back to you, entering the top of your head or anywhere in your body you feel tension. When you feel yourself start to feel that kind of, I want it so bad, it's kind of making me feel tense or anxious. Very important to keep that balance within yourself. Okay. Because then once you have those worries come in, then you start working into that territory of, am I manifesting negativity by expecting negativity? Blah, blah, blah. And then we just spiral. So let's look at the people whose goal was career. Eight of Swords. Final advice. You do have to step into what you want. You do also have to look at what's going on around you to know what you want. So that's a message that's coming through for some of you. That feels very specific. Stay motivated, stay moving forward. If you don't know which way to go forward to, still keep that momentum by learning more about the situation so that you know how to move forward. I hope I explained that right. I hope I did that right. some of you feel stuck right now, and that's why you did this reading in the first place about your career, is that you're stuck and you can't see a way for it to get better maybe. So that's our starting point, okay? You don't see how it can change, or you don't see a way out of like whatever situation that you're thinking about with your career. You can't see a way forward from that point. So what we need to do is learn exactly about what that point is. Okay, and it's going to be different for everybody. Why does it feel like it can't change? And what are solutions that you can find to help you change it, to help prove that wrong? Okay. A lot of it is simply just taking action towards learning about that. If we can't move forward because we feel stuck because of knowledge not being there for us, then we just have to put the momentum into finding out what that knowledge is that we need and then move forward. It's not stopping. Does that make sense? So that's like what your guides want you to know. It's not stopping. You're still moving in the right direction. It's like a side quest. You know, it's like Legend of Zelda. You can't conquer that one castle until you go and get your gloves, right? And you have to like solve some riddles and do some little puzzles to go get those gloves so you can go conquer that castle. That kind of stuff is coming through for you. Interesting messages for those people. Hopefully they're speaking to you in a way that makes sense. What else? Okay, I think that's about it for you. And then last advice for the people that want enough abundance. They want enough abundance for them to have fun on their off time. Queen of Cups. They're like, you're gonna get it. We know. But last advice for them, for you, is remember to already be thankful for what you already have. Sometimes when we're like, I want this so that we are happy. And I think you've already cultivated so much. I feel like you've already cultivated so much and you just want to cultivate more. And that's to better your life. And that's great. But remember to have gratitude for how far you've come already is a message that's coming through for you. You have accomplished so much and have so much to be grateful for, just to make sure that you are saying thank you and basking. Okay. Basking in like, not just, there's a difference between like saying thank you and being gratitude, you know, having gratitude, and then actually sitting back and enjoying what you're grateful for. Like really basking in it. I like to picture myself like if this was a movie and the whole movie was about me getting this goal, I'm going to have all these little snapshot moments where I become grateful for it or realize it happened, right? Or realize that it's happening, you know, or that it already happened. I already have so much to sit back and go, what would I look like at the end of that shot in that movie? What would I look like in an ad? You know, what would I look like? What are those images that you see when you think somebody looks really happy and they're in the bag and you want it to? Picture yourself in that place with those things you've already accomplished. And that will bring those other ones towards you even faster and more powerful. And with that, I'm going to leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you next time, my friends. Bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked the little Dalmatian Jasper heart, you got the Gratitude Dragon, the Honeydew Dragon. Some of you might really like honeydew, and that might be why you picked this little dragon. I don't know. Could you tell it was a honeydew dragon? It's got a little bee with it. So this is all about gratitude and luck. So like I feel like there's 2 different types of people in this group. I feel like some of you have a really wonderful life, and you know you do. And your dragons have come in to give you messages about your wonderful life, something about it, okay? And then some of you feel like you don't have a very great life, and your dragons are here to help you see what it is that you can be grateful for and to help expand and build on that. That's what it feels like it's coming in right now. So let's go ahead and get some cards for you guys. Sorry if you heard that. I had to move my table over on this side to make sure that my screen is on, so I make sure that I hear a call coming in. And oh dear, I need to plug it in because it's going to die. Okay, I actually went and got some different earbuds because I have to have earbuds in, otherwise I won't hear a call if it's coming in. Okay, so this popped off for somebody. And this one did too. Didn't even have to shuffle that much. Very anticlimactic, I apologize. Let's look. Raspberry dragon with kindness. Okay. And tea dragon with relax. Okay. So those of you who know you have something to be grateful for, those of you that know you have a wonderful life and you are grateful for a lot in your life, your messages that I'm getting here are showing that your guides are telling me that you not only have a wonderful life, but you're also amazingly kind to others. And they want you just to relax and bask in the fact that you're doing enough. Okay? That's the message coming through for those groups. Those of you that came in that were like, my life is not great. Okay? There's a lot more messages for you. So I apologize to the other guys. I'll do you guys first every time. And then you can like skip or however you need to do it, because there's more messages coming in for this other group at this time, at least for this one. Your guides are showing that like one of the ways to help expand on what you feel grateful for in your life, even though things are going really bad. And please understand from the get-go, I don't want to say this over and over again and kill myself saying it. I am not discounting anything bad that's going on in your life. Like, I feel like whatever it is, if somebody's like, oh, you have a lot of things to be grateful for in your life, and you're like, no, I don't, then it means like you've got some horrible stuff going on. Okay. Or you had so much horrible stuff going on in your life that everything's just kept feeling horrible as you moved forward. Okay. So don't ever think that I'm discounting you. They want you to focus around on the people around you who actually do show you kindness. And that might be a very small amount of people. And they're also showing that those people that are showing kindness to you they won't necessarily even be in your circle for all of you. Okay. It could just be somebody at the store that's kind to you that recognizes you, or like you recognize them and they're always super nice to you, or, a coworker who always shows you respect and courtesy, or a teacher who does the same, or, a coworker who works in the same place as you and doesn't go, hop on the bandwagon of negativity with everybody else around you, somebody who stood up for you or just like goes out of their way to have a kind word for you. Your guides want you to focus on those kinds of energies coming through. They want you to also, in turn, to gravitate more gratefulness and gratitude and kindness towards you. And you're probably already doing this. I'm not saying you're not being nice, but be mindful of the kindness you're showing to others. Like, always, obviously, be kind to everybody you talk to, even when they're having a rough day. It's always better to be calm and kind than it is to like get mad in return, right? Even though sometimes it's hard. And that doesn't mean that you're taking it from them or being a pushover. It just means that, you're showing empathy that like not everybody's going to be on their best form, and showing logic in the fact that not everybody's going to be in their best form and be treating you the way you deserve to be treated all day long. And so finding ways to cope with that by showing kindness in return, being mindful of like, that really pissed me off, I guess I'll be really nice to this person. That kind of energy and advice is what they're showing me there. What else? What else indeed? I think that's it for the kindness card. But yeah, like being mindful, like, I think I've talked about this in my Christmas readings. Actually, I know I have, where I talk about like ways to get the Christmas spirit. One of them is to like do something nice for somebody, like something charitable, something totally like that does not benefit you at all. And always be careful with the charity you give out to others, because a lot of times when you give something, you get punished, right? For me, it's like I'm nice to somebody and then they cling on to me, right? So it's like, keep your boundaries. That always just teaches me I still need to work on my boundaries. But finding people to just do something kind to or give kindness to and vibe is very powerful and will attract more kindness towards you. It will also attract more gratitude towards you, more things in your life that you can be grateful for. And to relax. I feel like a lot of people in this group of people who feel like there's nothing good in your life, like there's a lot of anger towards people, and you have very good reason to feel that way. But your guides are trying to remind you that if you stay upset about it, it just wears you down. It's like that whole like staying angry at somebody is like drinking poison and expecting them to die, kind of deal. Here's the thing I also want to say. I know that you can't just get over being angry by saying, oh, I need to get over it. Okay. Here's what I've learned about processing and dealing with anger to the point where it will go away. Okay. And this is going to be a little bit of psychology and a little bit of spirituality mixed in. The first thing to do is to realize that you're angry in the first place. Isolate down to what you are actually angry about. So like if they just you off every time you see them, every time you're around them, whoever it is, or if it's like a group of people, like traffic. Why am I always so mad at everybody in traffic? I get it. We all know why we're mad in traffic, but let's just try to follow my thought process here by using this as an example that we all have been in, okay? You're frustrated about being in traffic. If you spend the entire time being mad about the fact that you're stuck in traffic and there's going to be rude people that come in and they're going to do their rude things, that's all you're going to see. And that's all you're going to like manifest towards yourself by expecting it. And so taking those uncomfortable moments where you're stuck in those situations to say, okay, how can I relax and pick things around me that give me joy? Pick things around me that like, so I do that thing that they say to do when you have an anxiety attack where they're like, pick 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, that kind of deal. I like to do things like pick 5 things in the car that bring you joy right now. And it's like, oh, the song that's playing right now is pretty sweet. My air conditioner's working. I like that. Stuff like that will help. It will help you, and it will help you relax. It will definitely help you relax. Okay. So relax into it. If you know your life is already good, bask in the things, notice them when they're happening, and just be even more mindful of how awesome it is that happened. Like, my gosh, like, what a charmed life I live. Okay. I do that every time I almost hurt myself, and then I catch myself and I don't get hurt. I thank my guides and God for taking care of me, and then I go, and what a lucky life I've lived. How many times have I almost stumbled that would have been a really serious fall or something, a really serious like accident or like a really serious cut or whatever, and it didn't happen because you guys are looking out for me. I really thank you so much, and I really am I'm living a charmed life. I have so much to be grateful for. Those kinds of things, like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that these cookies turned out. Oh my gosh, I'm so great that deal went through. I'm so happy that my kid's doing great in school. Whatever the blessings are, every time you feel that joy spike, tap that in, acknowledge it. Okay. If you are in a less gracious situation and you're in more of a challenging type life, look for those things that bring you joy, especially in the bad times. If you're not in immediate danger, of course, like the whole building's on fire, that's not a good time to stop and be like, let's find 5 things in this room that give me joy besides the fire that's rushing towards me. Right? Here we go. Okay. What else? I hope this sounds okay. I feel bad. I just uploaded a video today and somebody said the sound was like cutting in and out, and I listened to it on my end and it sounded just fine. So like, I'm not sure how to fix it, but I'm going to look at it more in depth today and see if I need to like re-upload it or something. But anyway, that being said, I just wanted to say thank you for letting me know if there's a problem. There's been times where there was a problem and you guys call, like when the timestamps switch around. That's been a problem I've had. I haven't had it in a while, but it was a problem. People would get on and be like, your timestamps are screwy again. I'm like, dang it, and I'd go in and fix it. But I'm so like grateful for comments. So thank you. Moving on. I'm grateful for comments. Look at that. brought my own gratitude into this little party. Ooh, rose. This particular deck I might get some book action with because I just want to make sure we get all the details that we need. Like, we know what type of people you are. So then I start trying to look at, you know, what's the main thing the dragons are trying to tell us. Okay. Path. My goodness, what beautiful cards. What beautiful colors. I feel like some of you have a dragon spirit that is this color. Like specifically those colors of purple. All of these little dragons could be speaking to you in the sense of like, hey, this isn't exactly what I look like, but I kind of look like this. Or I'm a water dragon, or I'm a fire dragon, or I'm an air dragon, whatever. And they all, and I said this earlier in the reading, like dragons encompass all the elements, but there are some that live in the water. There's some that live in, you know, you get the idea. Okay. So I want to look at the book on this rose dragon. And we're just going to read parts of it. We probably won't read all of it. I just want to get a feeling. Okay, we all live in two worlds, one of understanding and one thinking, and one of the heart. Oh, okay. One of understanding and thinking, and one of the heart of feeling. Our daily experiences are stored in the world of understanding, but the emotions that accompany them, love, happiness, fear, sadness, are in the heart. Okay. I understand the message of this card. This card is about you guys being on the right path. Your dragons want you to know you're on the right path. So even the group that, and the ones that are like super grateful for how their lives are going, to like, heck yeah, I'm on the right path, right? The ones that are not having such a good time might not feel the same. So your guides are definitely saying to you that you are on the right path. Even though things have been hard, you're headed in the right direction. You still have things to be grateful for. You still have more coming towards you that will make you grateful. There is a lot going on, especially for some of you. So they're just reiterating that idea of like, what makes you happy in your heart? And what can you focus on to help make that sensation occur even when times are tough? What things are working out? What other things can we work towards that we hope will work out? Don't give up on that. And don't give up on the way you look at things. You know, if something happens and you feel disappointed about it, I feel like some of you, your dragons, are saying that you need to kind of evaluate, like, why did that upset me so bad? And I'm a person that has to process like this, because I have like PTSD and things. And so I don't automatically always know, like, why did all of a sudden did I just like get ready to punch somebody in the face? What was that all about? Why did I didn't, but what was that sensation, right? What brought that on? What was that all about? What was my problem? You know, like, what was the trigger there? And that will help you as well. Like, what is going on? Processing, like, is there really a problem here? Or am I kind of like letting something else from my past trigger this situation and make it feel worse than it actually is? What about this situation can I be grateful for? That's another part it sucks because it sounds so goody two shoes to me. Like, what can I do to be grateful for even though things suck? You know, it's like when somebody's acting awful and they're like, yeah, but she's a really good dancer. Like, I don't care. She just spit on my face and like she did it out of spite. So I think she's kind of a bad person. I don't mean looking for gratitude like that. You know, what I mean is like when things suck, not only does it like suck because it sucks, the fact that your mind and body knows that you're not in the place that you want it to be all the time can take a toll on your health, on your mental capacities, on all of these things. And so and on your soul. So it's so important to find those moments of that was worth living. This is worth living for. That's something that I help reframe negative thoughts with positive ones. And I've seen people do it in very dire situations where, like, you know, relief efforts or whatever, where people are like dirty and tired and trying to find people. People are sick, dirty, and dying everywhere around them. And it's not like they're finding reasons to be grateful for the situation, but they're taking moments of mindfulness for, oh, this water is worth living for right now. I'm so grateful for this water that I just took a drink of. Oh, that person's eye contact was so healing. I got such a healing vibe from their eye contact from all the way over there. And I'm grateful that that person exists in this world. I'm grateful that they took that moment with me. Little things like that will really start to build. I promise you, but you got to start doing them. You got to start doing them. I don't want to sit here and argue about it's so bad that you can't do those things, right? You're still looking for solutions or you wouldn't be here, right? And no matter how bad something gets, like I'll be reading like memoirs of people who survived genocide, talking about like the night that they all put on a little play and it was such a joyous occasion for them. And I'm not saying they have so much to be grateful for, but I'm saying that them having gratitude helped them like survive. It helped their health. It helped them get through that time. It gave them a positive memory when they had all these other awful memories. That's what I'm talking about, building on things, finding things to be okay. That's why so many people will keep a sense of humor even when things get bad, is because they're still looking for joy. Now, there are those people that are mean about it, and like you got to look out for those guys that are like stealing joy from others to give themselves joy. But that's not what you're doing. And I don't think you're worried about doing that to anybody. And I don't think you're worried about people thinking that's what you're doing. So just do it. And that will get you on even more of a steady path towards things working out more. I know it seems crazy that would change things, but it can. That's what manifestation is all about. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get some more dragon messages for you. Group 3. I need to get my head in the game and get my head on my shoulders here. Resources, number 11, yes. The group that has not as much to be grateful for, I realize that resources are probably a factor. And your guides do too, okay? And we're not saying that every little thing that you do is going to make those things fixed or change them, but it will help your mood, which will help your health, which will help your productivity, which will help things get better. It's just a thing that builds up. It's just a thing that builds up. Those of you who already have all these wonderful things, you have a lot of the resources that you need. If there's something going on specifically in your life, like a challenge that's coming up that you feel like you might not have the resources for it, your guides are saying to remember all the times that you thought that before that you got it. The resource appeared. And they're saying to remember that. Those of you who don't have as many resources in general, your guides are saying to use the resources you do have, use the joys you do have while you try to do the best you can. Take it one moment at a time. Sometimes one day at a time, one moment at a time. If you don't have money to get something done, then do something else that gives you joy. Do something that brings you, and I don't mean like, well, if you can't do this, then go get drunk and be joyful that way. I'm not saying to do it that way. I'm saying if you can't pay that bill, maybe do some research that day about like, what do people do when they just absolutely cannot pay their bills? What resources are available to me? And then finding what resources are out there and then vetting them. Which ones are safe? Which ones are legit? Which ones are whatever? I know that that's like not fun work to do, but I feel like some of you are literally in survival mode, and that's why you feel like you don't have anything to be grateful for. Pulling your resources, really sitting down and being like, what is the reality of the situation? Who can I count on? Nobody? Okay. What can I count on from myself? What are things I absolutely cannot do moving forward? And how is that going to affect me? And what resources do I have for that? What are sources of help that I can reach out for to get? What are solutions I haven't thought of? Who are people I can go to help me find those answers? That kind of energy is coming through for you with that card. 5, space. Give yourself some space. I feel like maybe some of you might be living in close quarters with a lot of people, or very, very busy and surrounded by people all the time. You need some like alone and quiet space. to be able to regenerate and have those mindful moments that help you feel gratitude and help you find solutions that you feel gratitude for later, go ahead and make sure that you're taking at least, 5 to 15 minutes a day to just sit and be quiet. And that can be really hard for some people. And I feel like for some certain people in this group, it's going to be very hard. So start with 5 minutes. Start even less if you can't sit for 5 and just work your way up. Like we're talking about building on, right? Building on things. And so give yourself the space and the time to reflect on the things you need to. If you need space and time to research jobs or research ways to get help for your situation, make that time. If you need time to go to therapy, but you keep canceling because you're too busy and you have responsibilities, well, if you think therapy is helping and that might help you feel more gratitude in life, you might want to make that time. Okay, so make sure that you're prioritizing space for the things that you need to focus on. Prioritizing space to feel grateful for the things you need to feel grateful for. One of the things that I do, that's a really simple way to do it, and I haven't been doing it lately, so consequently, I'm having some trouble, is I get a day planner, but instead of like something that doesn't have like a ton of pages in it, but just like a little chunk of time for each day. So it could be like a sectioned diary as well. And all I do is I write down things that happened that day that I was grateful for. And sometimes it might only be one thing if it was a really horrible day. Like, well, those people were absolutely deplorable, but at least I kept my sense of humor, right? And instead of being like, those people were deplorable, but at least I kept my sense of humor, I would just write down, I kept my sense of humor today. Down the road, if I flip back and look at that, I'm not going to remember maybe what that situation even was. If I say those people were deplorable, but I kept my sense of humor, I'm going to remember, and that might drag me down. So like those types of little gratitude exercises. Don't focus on like what's bad. Focus only on what's good. Focus only on what you have to be grateful for. I remember thinking things like catching myself when I call myself a bad name. Like I always say, oh my gosh, you're such an idiot. Things like that in my brain when I'm like just walking around my everyday life. And then I was hearing that that's not very healthy and it can manifest bad things. And so I was trying to not do it. And so I would stop myself and go, oh, I'm such an idiot, but I make a mean chocolate chip cookie. Oh, I'm such an idiot, but I can sing like better than anybody I know. Oh, I'm such an idiot, but I, got a really high score on the English portion of my ACT. I don't know, whatever makes you feel good. So give yourself the space to channel things like that. That's the main message that I'm getting from that. Give yourself the space to channel this gratitude, this time where you can have the mindfulness to focus on those types of things. Okay, now let's get into some tarot. So with this section, we pretty much know your situation. Maybe not the details have been discussed, but things are either going bad or things are either going good. So what I want to do now is a lot of times we want to figure out like if you're in the right group. And so I'm going to ask the guides, what are some details about the people who are very grateful about their lives? What are some details to let them know they are in the right group? You deserve what you have. You're not somebody that squanders what you have. You're somebody that deserves everything that you've gotten. You handle haters really well. People who get sort of like defensive or like resentful. That's the word. Resentful of you for having what you have. You handle them well. You don't just ignore them either. Like it depends on the severity. I feel like you handle yourself with real grace, but with honor and strength as well. 6 of Swords. You also help others with the resources that you have. You give to others because you know that others have given to you. Yeah, and you help others with their burdens. You also take on a lot of burden onto yourself. I feel like because you've had such a good life, you tend to try to make sure that you don't veer off course. Try to make sure that you don't do something that's going to mess that up. Or try to do something that's going to make it seem like you don't appreciate what you have. because you do. Okay, now I want to see from the dragons about the people who don't feel grateful. What are some of their situations that's going on? 8 of Cups, somebody, abandonment. Somebody left you or left you behind or walked away from you, or you had to walk away from somebody else or from something like a job or something that you really cared about, a faith, a family, things like that. Or they walked away from your whole family. Somebody has an oppressive force in their life, somebody who is very opinionated and controlling and manipulative. And that's something that you've been dealing with. Some of you are trying to heal from a traumatic past. I don't feel like all of you are completely out of that. Like maybe a very traumatic family upbringing or a very traumatic family living situation. And some of you have gotten out and are sort of like healing from that time. And then you're still struggling, even though you're out of that, you're still struggling with what happened, making peace with it. And some of you have like your emotions just are like all over. It's like even the things that are good can look bad. Even the bad things can look good. It can get very disorienting and very, very upsetting. Some of you have a substance issue or an issue with consumption, an issue with consuming food, alcohol, substances, addiction to people who give you emotional feelings in certain ways. Not being able to see clearly because of those feelings being so all over, lots of different things going on. Okay. So just real quick, Spirit, for those who are in these situations, thank you. So like, I was just trying to channel a message for those of you that are in these situations. It's like, what solutions are there? Because I feel like some of you might want a solution, and that was why you were watching this video. It's like, I need a solution from these dragons. And like, the situation is so bad for some of you, for like most of you probably, or like, so it feels so bad to you, like, so the solution is not quite there yet. And so this whole reading is about building a strong foundation to help your situation get better to the point where it doesn't slip back. And so your guides are kind of putting forth this message of start small, and like starting smallest by looking at where your life is right now and what strengths do you have, what resources do you have, what things do you have to feel grateful for. Those things will build because those become strength. Even if it's something that you don't think is related, like I make a mean chocolate chip cookie, right? Well, maybe, and this is just a little storybook example, guys, but like maybe, that's how you get over that breakup, is you start making cookies like in a Hallmark movie, and then you open a bakery, and then this guy in a flannel shows up and he teaches you about romance in a healthy way. That's totally a silly storybook example, but it's an example to kind of make you see like those little things building on themselves. If she hadn't have admitted to herself she could make a mean chocolate chip cookie, she never would have had the confidence to make the bakery, right? And I get it. You can't just like decide you make good cookies and own a bakery. I totally understand. I'm saying just starting with changing the mindset and then moving forward into changing the physical settings, the physical situation. Okay. That's what they're trying to get you to focus on right now. Because we aren't to the point with that group that doesn't feel grateful. We're not to the point with most of you where there's just this simple magical answer like, well, if you leave them, you'll be fine. And like most of you know, no, that's not true, right? Because they make the money, or because we have kids, or because, they won't let me leave, or because whatever, right? And your guides know that too. And so they're trying to start, this is huge. They're trying to start from very little spaces of like, storing up your strength, not just like a physical strength, but a spiritual, mental strength of focusing on things that are good and getting that good energy coming in towards you. So we help funnel that bad energy out and start funneling more good energy in, and then you'll start feeling better. Okay, so that's why we're starting small. That's why there's no big, like, you need to call a lawyer, you need to talk to Chuck down on 98th Street. That's what your guides say. You know, they're telling you to start way smaller. Okay, regardless of your individual situations. If you're healing from a past breakup, part of the message would be like focus on the things that you have around you that are good besides not having a spouse or a partner. I really wish that people wouldn't lose so much joy when they're single. I just really wish there was a way that I could flip a switch and take that away from everyone, because it's such an awful thing to have to live with. Okay. And then with the emotions, focus them down. If you're not sure what's good and what's bad, what do you know for sure is good? And then maybe the little saying that helps me, what would you know? What would you say if you did know? Because a lot of times that's a way of separating out what you do know from what you actually don't know. From what you actually know and the things that you don't want to say out loud. What would you say if you did know? And if you're like, I honestly don't know, then you don't know. But sometimes you know. You know? All right, moving along. I want to channel some of your names so that you know you're in the right group. Sometimes I have to flip cards to do this. Other times I do not. But I think with you I have to. Okay, so we're just going to start. So Chad, Charles, Charleston could be a last name or someplace you're from. Silver could be a last name. Some of you could have investments in silver. Or make silver jewelry. Something to do with silver. You might have silver hair. Some of you like roses or getting flowers. Some of you haven't gotten flowers in a long time. Aw. Some of you and would love to get some flowers. Some of you have duck decorations. Some of you like ducks. You just like little ducks. You always notice them if they're waddling around. You'll stop and watch them. Rebecca is another name that's coming up. Rosary? Rosalie? Rosary. Rosary's like a prayer beads. Some of you might be Catholic, maybe. Philip. Fargo. Some of you might live in Fargo. Forestry. Some of you might be in forestry management or live in the forest. Fundamental. Somebody might work in a job that has fundamental, like the actual word fundamental is in your job title. Peanut. Somebody might have a nickname Peanut or have a pet named Peanut. Honey. Somebody might have a nickname Honey or something about honey. Some of you might like honey. I don't know. It's a name, but it starts with like R-E-P, and I can't hear the rest, so it might be several names. R-E-P. Some of you might be their representative or something. You have R-E-P in front of your name, or know somebody who does. Some of you may have or used to have a drinking problem or a problem with substances. I think we said that before. Some of you have red hair. Not sure. These moths mean something to you. Some of you, something about maybe moths flying out of a closet that look like that, or walking through grass and little moths like that fly up in a big cloud. Hi, Miss Kittles. Lily is here. My cat Lily. She has come to say hello. Chariot. Your guides are saying to make a wish and then only accept that reality. Some of you had like knights, something about knights in your bloodline, or maybe you've been knighted. If you have been, tell me the story about that, Sir or Lady so-and-so. Lord or Lady Group 3. Rwanda. Chandra. Priscilla. Paisley? Paisley? No. Something that starts with a P that's like a girl name that sounds cute, like Piper, Paisley, or Presley, or Portia, something like that. I don't know. Very girly. We already said Priscilla. Romeo? Roz? Rochelle, Shelley, Christine, Corbin, Marshall, Bennett, Bristol, Greg, Randy, Tony, somebody has dogs and the breed starts with a P. Pointers or something. Rosalie, did I ever say that? Bruce, Brittany, Carter, Kathy. That's funny. That's funny. If you know me personally, you'd know why that was funny. Carpenter, Castle. These could be last names. Courtney. Okay, I think I got a lot. All right, now let's do, I would like one last piece of advice for the group of people who are very grateful. Yeah, you're going to keep having things to be grateful for. You're doing a lot of things right to keep this momentum going, especially just showing the generosity of spirit by being grateful and being mindful enough to know that you have things to be grateful for is very beautiful and refreshing to see. So congratulations on your wonderful, fabulous life. And then those of you who don't feel grateful, what's your last bit of advice? Page of Pentacles. Yeah, keep looking for those messages of joy. Keep looking for ways to build on that gratitude, ways to build on those good feelings, because those are going to help manifest those ways to come through. Also look for messages from your guides, because they are constantly talking to you, trying to give you signs that they are there helping you through this process. And so as you're working through that gratitude, showing gratitude to your guides and asking them questions, when you get upset and say, I don't understand why this is happening, why won't you help me, or something along those lines, always stop and apologize and say, I know, I'm just frustrated, guys. I just really need help, And even if you're just wailing at nobody, you're not yelling at God, you're not yelling at your guides, you're not yelling at anybody, you're just yelling because you're so upset. Still go back and say, okay, I still want to work on this. I still want to be grateful for the things I want to be grateful for. I want to be grateful for my life. I want things to turn around. And I'm going to find 5 things I'm grateful for right now. And it can be things that don't even affect you. Like, I'm always grateful. This is a really small, stupid thing. I'm always grateful when I find out that somebody had a happy ending of some sort. So like go find videos of like people rescuing cats, or people, happy ending videos where it's like they things work out for them in the end. Lucky people videos or something that I love to watch, where like somebody just narrowly escapes death, but that was their very lucky day and it got caught on camera, and we all get to see it and feel that joy and gratitude that things worked out that day for that person. Build on things, even from the smallest little speck, and look for messages from your guides. Tell them to give you the messages that will speak to you. So, and be specific with them. Be like, I need specific signs from you that show me that it's time to leave, or that it's time to quit, or that it's time to get help. I need to have a specific sign. Can you show it to me in the form of blah, blah, blah? And they will do their best to accommodate you. You will, and promise them in return, I will open up and try to be open to the types of responses that you give me, even if I don't quite understand them. Only invite in guides who want your best, highest, and most good. And make that clear when you invite them in. Don't just yell out for help, because that's like going out on the busy city street and being like, hello, I'm all alone. Don't do that. Okay. And yeah, with that, I shall leave you. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there, as well as if you would like to book a private reading with me, there will be ways to do so in the description box, including packages I offer. I'm going to start putting those in there. All right. We'll see you in our next one. Take care. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah. Group 4. So if you pick the snow quartz heart and the coconut dragon, your message has something to do with multitasking. So you've got some stuff coming up where you're going to be a busy little bee. Okie dokie. Well, let's go ahead and get some cards to see. So the main things that are coming up first is like work stuff, like lots of work things. Then I also have somebody who's very busy with work, and then there's also some like uptick in personal life type situations. Like one particular storyline I'm seeing is work is very busy and hectic, but then you've also like married somebody and they have kids, or like you're blending families or something along those lines, or like, you know, you had a pretty full single life and now you've got like a very full romantic life as well that's full of busyness. So like that's like something that's definitely coming through for some of you. Others, it's like you've got a new position at work, and I hate to say it, like for some of you, it doesn't feel like a promotion. It feels like an extra task. Like, for example, when you're like, you know, for like a teacher or somebody like that, or like a person that works in a hospital or whatever, like they'll find new duties for you as assigned to give you in some cases. Sometimes it's even in your contract that they can just give you another job that you have to do on top of the job that you tried out for. You know, so like if you're not just teaching English, you're also a parking lot attendant for part of the day, you know, like that fun stuff. Or a ticket taker at night, you know, those types of deals. So like a multitasking type of job thing that came up that's making your job even more hectic and busy. And it's not something that you even really wanted. Like an extra, you know, we want you to be the team leader of our stupid program where you come up with acronyms for everything and group building activities and stupid crap like that. I'm not talking about anything specific I went through or anything. Not at all. So yeah, other storylines coming through, Spirit. Multitasking. Some of you are also very busy at work. So like all of you are very busy at work. And then, or at home, or both. And then you're also trying to work in time to get healthier. Okay, this is the fourth pile, so maybe I should write this down so I remember. Okay. All very busy with work. And now some are adding a relationship or a family type situation. Maybe some of you are pregnant and you're very busy at work, and now you got to navigate a pregnancy or an adoption of some kind. And then the other one was, see, I'm already forgetting it. Hang on, let me pause while I write these down. Okay, so I got them all. Some of you are given more work at work than maybe you wanted or asked for. Some of you are adding more relationships to an already very busy life, and some of you are also adding like some kind of a workout routine or some kind of mindfulness towards health, like diet changes or both, to your life. Okay, well, let's see what else is going on with you. What else your dragons have to say to you? Luck. Lucky Clover Dragon. Well, look at you being all lucky Lou. I feel like some of you are going to have a really fun St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up at the time that I'm filming this. And Radish Dragon with growth. Yeah, there is a like huge opportunity for growth with adding things on, right? There's also, you know, opportunity for stress and things getting crazy, but like definitely opportunity for growth and evolving, right? So I like that for you. I feel like those of you that are adding on the relationships to an already very busy schedule, like the relationships are going great. Like you really are enjoying your time together. So like if you're like, you know, if you're like in a miserable relationship or something, like, or you're in a new relationship and it feels miserable, that's probably not the message for you. Like those that are adding relationships into a very busy life already are doing it because those relationships are very good. They're very like positive and very happy. But it's like you kind of feel like you're missing out on them when you're at work. And then when you're at work, you kind of might worry that you're not focusing on them enough, or that you're not focusing on work enough because you're thinking about all this fun stuff you're missing with those relationships, and that living dynamic at home outside of work. Some of you are trying to figure out how to have enough time to do work and get healthy. And the answer to that is just finding ways to make the time, finding ways to set priority. Other people do it, you know, find other people at your place of work that have a similar schedule to you and be like, when do you pencil in workouts? You know, those kinds of things. But luck is on your side. Luck is on all of your sides for making this multitasking situation a success and finding a balance as you move forward. It's just going to take some growth. It's just going to take some adjustments and, you know, scheduling, new scheduling ideas, new organizational skills coming in that you didn't use before, new considerations that you hadn't previously thought of because you weren't in this situation before. And with the people that got the extra work, this is actually a good thing. And I'm always so hesitant to say that when people are like, oh, they gave me more work I didn't ask for. I'm always like, red flag with them, you know, so don't do it all the time. But this particular opportunity that you're looking at right now is actually going to give you an opportunity for growth. And you're actually lucky that they gave it to you. So it's a time to shine. So really pay attention to it, right? Don't pay attention to it so much that you F up your other job, but like, give it some mindfulness and some care and attention to make sure they understand that you care about it too. It could open up some really good growth opportunities at work, and it is a lucky thing that you're the one that got chosen to have it. And it could be just a sign. It could just be lucky because they saw something in you and they're grooming you maybe for something higher, and they're doing this as a test. That's also coming through for some of you with work, with getting more work added on to your already very heavy load that you're carrying. Okay, I think I covered everybody, didn't I? Adding their relationships, getting healthy, and more. Yep, okay. Let's get some more information. Keep in mind that dragon guides that are coming in to talk to you are also giving you clues through the images in these cards. Like this has a lot of ladybugs around it, rainbow, full moon, coconuts, these little dragon radish flowers things, and like just keep in mind that your dragon guides could even be like these colors, this size, that element, etc. Independence, roar, look at that fiery power. So you definitely have some fire energy from these dragons, some fire dragon energy. They're connected to all the elements, but some of them are, fiery, or they live in the water, or whatever. They are up in the air a lot longer, or they live down in the earth. Or up in trees. Okay. Yeah, you're headed towards more independence. Even though it feels like you're so busy, you're going to find a balance. So this is definitely like my words will not come out of my mouth. This is reassurance that things are going to settle down, that things are going to be handled well, that you're going to find your groove and find your way forward with your new job tasks, with this new relationship situation, and with getting healthy. You're also some of you are going to have to assert your independence of like, I have a right to go work out. And you guys can have to cook your own dinner for, 2 nights a week. So there might be some of that having to go on for some of you. Okay. Same thing with the getting more tasks at work. It's like, I'm already doing this for you. So maybe don't come to me with something else right now. Yeah. Good call, Carol. All right. Let me know if your name's Carol, and if you're tired of me using that as a Carol, just a random person that we use. That's usually not the best person. Okay, we have King Arthur. Yeah, that chance for opportunity for those of you that got an extra job. There's like leadership opportunity here. People see you as leadership opportunity. Those of you who are trying to get healthy, King Arthur was all about overcoming challenges and being meant to overcome those, like being destined to overcome his challenges. So you are going to overcome those challenges and make it. You definitely have a red dragon of some kind, wouldn't you say? A red fiery dragon. Radishes are also kind of fiery. For those of you that are getting healthy, yeah, he overcame challenges. For those of you who are adding on extra relationships, King Arthur was a good, decent family man, from what I hear. He was a well-around good guy. Did his family treat him very well in some of the stories? No. But we won't get into that. Unless we do, because you guys were thinking about them. Okay. Let's look at the next two here. This is supposed to be a short little video because all these dragon energies showed up, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a reading. And it was like 16 years later, 4 hours later, here we are. All right, we have 22, rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. Good for you. Invention number 11, burning with passion. I just felt that 11-11 energy of things like changing, things falling into place for the best, all that good stuff. All that good stuff, you guys. Okay, so yeah, rebirth, like being reborn into a new role, right? Instead of just piling on extra jobs, this is actually going to lead to something. So like that kind of thing is good. A new rebirth into, you're not just a partner at a firm now, you're also a wife, a mother, a stepmom, or whatever, right? A lover, a fiance, a husband, whatever. Like a significant other, a mixed family, whatever, right? So this is just a new step into a new identity. If you're getting healthy, well, there's nothing more new rebirthy about that. Getting back into the body that you were meant to have, or getting back into the mindset that you used to be in, or creating a whole new body or a whole new mindset that you've never tried to create before. And then with the what am I doing? Yeah, we already said them. We said them all. Yeah, being in that new role. Okay. And then invention, coming up with new ways to find those balances, coming up with new ways to, make your schedule, finding new friends because you're in a new schedule, meeting new people because they're connected to those new relationships that you're forming, and learning new things about people at work, seeing things at work from a different perspective that will be useful to you. Just remember, if like you get extra work piled onto your job you already have, just document how you're treated during that time. Are you pressured? Are you praised? Are you asked to do more? Are you not getting paid more, etc.? Just keep track of how they're doing it so that you don't get mired down in responsibility and then you realize 10 years down the road, like, hey, I should have been asking for more, or demanding more or whatever. Okay. But coming up with new ways, being creative about this new situation, looking for opportunities that it's creating as opposed to worrying about obstacles or problems that it's going to create. Yes. Indeed. Okay, so now we just get into things about you guys so that you know you're in the right group, so that you know that this is in the bag, so that you know, just any details that came out as well to help you. We're also going to look at some like final advice from your guides with our tarot cards here. So let's go ahead and get that going. So, dragons. Let's look at the people who are adding in a new family or new relationships into their already very busy work lifestyle. Oh, thank you. Those popped right out. We have 8 of Swords and the Hanged Man. So definitely feeling stuck. I definitely feel like there's some stuck energy around winning over somebody else's kids or worrying about your kids accepting somebody new. That's definitely something that's coming in. I'm also seeing feeling stuck around being able to be more present for your new relationships that you're bringing in, that you have things at work that you have to do and you're worried that maybe that's going to cause problems because you know that there's not really ways to shift your schedule around. That kind of energy is coming through. So I know I said we'd get final advice, but spirits, what are some solutions for those people worried about that kind of thing? What sorts of hope can you give them? The Lovers, like the person, the new people that are coming into your life, you were already busy when they got here. And so they already kind of know that that's how you are. I don't think that they're just expecting you to drop everything and be there for them because you were already busy when you started. And so that's definitely something that's coming through to put your mind at ease. They're okay with things shifting and changing and moving forward how they need to, as long as you're showing them kindness and love with the time that you are giving, and you are giving the time that you have to them, so it's like when you do have time off, you're not just like, oh, sorry, I gotta go do this instead, right? Like, they're gonna be happy with you. I feel like the kids are gonna come around. If you feel like they haven't yet, if they're being quiet, if you're not sure where you stand with them, it looks like things are gonna be okay, that it's gonna be a good match, okay? And so don't worry about what you need to do. Just like go with the flow is basically what they're saying. And don't let worry about what people might be thinking or might be saying. Don't let that start making you think that that's reality. Like they might not be thinking anything and you might just be projecting because you're worried about things on them. Okay. So keep that in mind. Keep communication open. If you feel like something's going on, maybe say something, but don't do it in an accusatory way. Just be like, hey, how's things going, so-and-so? How am I doing as your new stepmom? Is there anything that you'd like to report? And just see what they say, Yeah. Or like the other day, you kind of looked down when I said this one thing, and I'm just kind of new at this, and I don't ever want to upset you and have this turn to one of those situations where we all hate each other because, so-and-so got married to so-and-so. So how about, did I say something to upset you, or was anything wrong tonight at dinner or whatever? Okay. And 9 of Pentacles, they're showing that it's going to be a good success, that you're actually viewed very well by those people in your life and that they're viewing the other person well. So don't worry about those thoughts. Okay. So for people who are getting healthy, what kind of stuff do we have to tell them? The Star, my goodness, you're going to glow up so good. People are going to notice. People are going to notice. 2 of Cups, you might attract a mate. Some of you might attract a mate. by getting healthier. Those of you who don't attract a meat already or already have a meat, you're going to become more attractive looking to your partner, and it's going to really like spice things up, make things, it's going to uptick your confidence, and it's going to uptick your like spicy life. It's going to be good. Communication, you're going to get better at saying what you want because you are a go-getter now. I feel like a lot of that comes with like the confidence of like your body. Like if you feel like you're like looking fat and sad, you know, like how much confidence is that going to give you if those like two words are in your mind, you know? So it's like, yeah, like I would reframe that if I'm like, man, I look fat and sad today. Like from the like, I look big and bold. That's what I look because I'm going to go work out anyway. But it's looking like it's going to uptick your confidence, that you're going to speak with more confidence even as you move forward on this journey. That's going to help your mind too, how you feel about yourself. The sun, that's going to bring all good things. So stick with it. Just find the time. Insist upon it. Don't tell people that's what you're doing if like they've already like not scheduled that in for you. That was something that I had to deal with at work when I was teaching. It was like they knew I wasn't a mother, so like I didn't already have like the grace of like, oh, I've got a kids game I gotta go see. And so I just had to get really like diplomatic about not saying what I needed to take the day off for. I'd be like, oh, it's a personal family matter, and I'm not discussing it any further with you. Like I'm taking the day off and that's it. And they didn't like it, and it really didn't help my cause because they were very discriminating. You know how businesses, you get into this little niche and they can figure out like, well, you know, Miriam doesn't need to because she doesn't have kids, right? So it's like, yeah, but I still have all kinds of other full stuff outside of this crap hole that I'd like to focus on. So, you know. I'm not sure what the point of that. I have no idea what the point of that was. Moving on. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So just make that time. So just don't tell people that you're going to go work out if you feel like they're going to discourage you. And people can be discouraging. They can give you too much advice. They can like sabotage you emotionally. They can do all kinds of things. There's some people out there that don't want you to get in shape. So keep them in mind. And then those of you who are doing extra work, it could bring up partnerships. It could really make you're going to shine in this role. Okay. It's going to actually improve your situation at work. You're not just doing it for nothing. So that's a very big message coming in for that. And then did I do them all? Okay. And then for those of you who are, yeah, we did them all, didn't we? Yeah, we did them all. Getting healthy, getting the new work. Okay. Now let's look at... Oh, that's what I did. I understand what I did now. I lumped the getting new work and... Oh my God, why can't I remember? And getting healthy together. So let me just throw out a few more cards for you guys together, since you guys put you guys together. Maybe some of you are dealing with both of those things at once. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. That's the excuse I'm going to make for my brain not working. Okay. Just kidding. I'm not making an excuse. My brain doesn't work. Have fun keeping up. Just a few more cards, Spirit, on getting healthy and getting extra work. Nine of Cups. Getting what you want. Wish fulfillment. And Seven of Wands, victory. Baby. Look at that. Powerful. Look at, and there's that red dragon again. It looks the same as those other dragons. And it's not even the same deck. Malanta. You got a big red fire dragon. I've got one of those, but it's more orangey than red. And it doesn't seem to hang out on Earth. In my visions, it's always out in space. Okay, moving on. So now I want to know if I can channel some names so that you guys can just get more confirmation that you're in the right place and that the news was good. Parker. It's a name, but it starts with a P-R-O, and I can't hear the rest. P-R-O. Russell. Regina. Rebecca. I've said Rebecca like 3 times today. I wonder if Rebecca, if we have the same Rebecca in more than one pile. Mark. God, I almost heard another one that started with an M. Paul. Rosie. Michaela. Monty. Nancy. Oh, it's a dude's name and it starts with an N, like Nathan. But then there's another one that I don't understand it, so maybe it's like foreign to me. It's like an N. It's like an N-A at the beginning and an A-N at the end. And one of the names that we have here is Nathan, but it's like another one. Like Nanjin or like, I don't know. I'm going to butcher it. There's also another foreign name with the letter P at the beginning, and it's got like an O and a U in it. And then the place name Poughkeepsie keeps coming into my mind. So somebody might be from Poughkeepsie. Pocatello is a town. Well, it's a city. Princeton. Somebody might go to Princeton or live in a place called Princeton, maybe, if there's a place called Princeton. Prince. Poster child. Somebody might have been a poster child at home. Or the word poster child has come up for you recently. It's resonating with some of you for some reason. Waterfalls are resonating with you for some reason. Ronnie. Oh, lots of R stuff that I can't pronounce. Lots of R stuff I can't pronounce. So if you have like a non-American name that starts with an R, or just a strange name that starts with an R that is American, because Americans like to make up strange names. Some of you may have noticed. I want to give some examples, but I live in a small town, so I don't want to do that. Let's see what else. I said Mark already. It's like a name like Ridge or Rut or something like that, but like it's not a person's name. It's like a thing. Randy. Bob. Roberta. Bobby. Andrea. Or Angela. A-N something. Okay, places. Arkansas just came into my mind too. Lip gloss just popped into my head for some reason. Somebody might wear a lot of lip gloss or like lip gloss. Or maybe you were just looking at some. Which made me laugh and think about that movie, The Mothman Prophecies, which was not a comedy, by the way. But if you know, you know. You'll know why the lip gloss and The Mothman Prophecies made me laugh just then if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, oh well. Some of you maybe are from where the Mothman was from, the Point Pleasant, or another area where they've reported sightings of Mothman. Or in an area where you had a natural disaster at some point that was like kind of historic. Like people still talk about it and remember it. Okay. What else, Spirit? Somebody likes crystals and rocks. Somebody might sell crystals and rocks or collect them. Or search for them. Or all 3 of those things. Somebody has an illness that's related to rocks in some way. I am not sure what that means. Somebody in this group had a memory triggered by this little baby dragon. It triggers a memory for me too, but it's actually, I actually know what the memory's from. It's a Christmas ornament, which was not a dragon, but it reminds me of a Christmas ornament we had when I was a kid. Just the way the little baby dragon is sleeping. I think it was a baby mouse. Yeah. Anyway, Christmas ornaments. Somebody might have a connection to a Christmas ornament of some kind, and I'm not sure in what way. Random. I'm also seeing a broom. Some of you might do broom magic. Some of you might clean for a living. I don't know. I don't understand. Some of you might need to sweep away some cobwebs of something. Sweep away the cobwebs in my brain of what that clue was about. Okay. Gosh, and another R name just popped in, but I didn't catch it. So if your name starts with R, you're definitely in the right spot. Don't fear resistance just came in. I think that's like for the family people. Well, that's probably for any situation here. Some of you have a pussycat at home. A pussycat. If you have a cat, let me know your cat's name in the comments. Or show some pictures if you can post. I don't know if you can post pictures and comments on YouTube. You probably can't, can you? Let me know in the comments. Okay, what else? Some of you like pink quartz. Or maybe you're wearing pink quartz right now. Paula is a name coming through. The last name Hart. Paw, P-A-W. Maybe Pawpaw. Maybe somebody's Pawpaw is here. Maybe you're a Pawpaw now. Thinking. All right. And I just saw a day planner. Not sure. It's purple. Not sure what it's for, though. Okay. Any other names, Spirit? Anything? All right. So, okay. So now, sorry about that. I got a call. Let's go ahead and take a look at just final advice for you guys. So, Dragons, can you tell us last closing advice for, hang on, I don't know which group I'm asking for yet, for the group who is getting healthy. Six of Swords. You're going to figure it out. You're going to, as long as you keep putting your effort out, you're going to make it happen. It is going to happen for you. So don't worry about your schedule. You know, just do some research, find out, look around, ask some people who also work out. If you have similar schedules with you, do some Reddit threads, whatever works. You will figure this out and you will be so happy you did it. Okay. And if it's a different kind of health besides working out, you know, like mindfulness or dieting, you know, you can do research there. You can start getting, if you know there's places where you're going to eat out with people that you normally like know are like not very healthy places, call the place ahead of time and ask what kind of like healthy menu items do you have, and then you can just be ready to order it when you get there. That kind of thinking ahead. Okay. And you're going to feel so good. Now let's look at the people who are been getting extra work or got an extra job at work. Yeah, this is going to lead to you doing well. It's going to be emotionally fulfilling that you said yes to this. So I'm glad, because I feel like some of you maybe said yes to things in the past that didn't work out that well. Go with the flow. Learn as much as you can while you're going. Show effort and initiative. But you've got this. It's going to be good. And then those who are adding new relationships. Three of Cups, celebrating. It's going to go well. Sorry, we got interrupted again. Yeah, like celebrating, having a great time, bonding with these new people, whether it's like your new person or like the children that you're blending together or whatever it is. I'm seeing, their friends, their extended family. I'm seeing really good things coming forward for you as well. So good news all around from your dragons, yo. And I feel like it's a good thing because I feel like so many of the people in this group 4 kind of needed the reassurance because these were like situations that other people have been in that probably could have turned out pretty bad, And so like, I definitely feel like hopefully that this like eased your mind or like gave you hope or put fears to rest or however you want to say that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the reading because I just feel like, we've gotten to all the messages for you, Group 4. So if this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye.